Some people are born to create problems. Some make it to the top in a disgusting way. Perhaps the biggest and most widely known character in WWE, Vince McMahon, was onto something over the years. People from the 90s to 2000s to the modern day wrestling, everyone talks about him. But his journey to the top was filled with harrowing details and a lot of dark chapters. The WWE chairman revolutionized the business during the Attitude Era, and because of that, he's earned the title of Best Heel of all time. Rather, it was a combination of many things that helped him excel. As much as people like to give credit to Stone Cold Steve Austin for the company's explosion in the late 1990s, McMahon was an equally big part of it. Without McMahon, the WWE as we know it wouldn't exist today. And without his contributions during the Attitude Era, perhaps there wouldn't even be a WWE period. That is why we, in this documentary, we're going to go deep and uncover the riches and talk about the whole story. From McMahon to the decline in WWE and the ongoing sexual allegations that have tarnished once the biggest empire in Ultimate Fighting to crumble and possibly be overtaken by many others. So, get ready and let's dive in. Ever since 1983, when McMahon took control of the World Wrestling Federation from his father, he's manifested Orwell's dictum about those controlling the present controlling the past. He owns the tape archives of nearly all the companies he defeated during his reign, meaning no one can legally see what came before without his approval. That makes sense. McMahon has never been nostalgic about the way wrestling was before he conquered it. From the very beginning of his tenure at the helm of WWE in the early 1980s, he sought to destroy or buy all of his competitors. He succeeded. Within 10 years, only one major rival, Ted Turner, remained. Within 20 years, there was no one left to oppose him. McMahon reshaped wrestling in his image, or so the story goes. In 1985, the first WrestleMania took place at Madison Square Garden, and that was it. The WWF was on top of the world. Some of the greatest celebrities were sparkling the stage, such as Cyndi Lauper, Muhammad Ali, and Mr. T. By the way, Mr. T was in the main event with Hulk Hogan, which was a great way to draw attention to the event. Anyone can always come to me. They've always been able to come to me and tell me if anything is out of line. These were the words of Vince McMahon during his appearance on Larry King Live in March 1992.
Anyone can always come to me. They've always been able to come to me and tell me if anything is out of line.
He had been forced to defend his company after allegations that referees and backstage staff had sexually molested underage ring boys.
This all came to light, as you probably know, when two teenage boys called ring boys, 13, claiming they were propositioned for sex.
And again, none of this adds up, Larry.
Alongside the sexual abuse scandal, Mr. McMahon was also embroiled in a legal battle with the United States government over claims he had been supplying his wrestlers with steroids. Mr. McMahon was found not guilty and continued running his company for the next 3 decades, transforming it from a regional professional wrestling company into a multi-billion-dollar global entertainment corporation. The WWE thrived with Mr. McMahon both at the helm and in the ring, playing the character of an evil boss who forced his employees to perform degrading acts for him before eventually getting his comeuppance. With a net worth of approximately $2.8 billion and ties to President Donald Trump and Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, Mr. McMahon is unquestionably the most powerful man in the history of the professional wrestling industry. Now, the 78-year-old is once again on the defensive, with a former staff member bringing allegations of sexual abuse and trafficking against Mr. McMahon in the Connecticut District Court.
Is alleging that WWE founder Vince McMahon sexually abused and trafficked a former employee.
Janelle Grant lived in the same apartment complex as Mr. McMahon and claims the billionaire befriended her, offering her a job at WWE while also showering her with attention and gifts. Miss Grant alleges she accepted a job at the company, but that their relationship took a turn when Mr. McMahon began repeatedly pressing for a sexual relationship, which she relented to. From 2019, Miss Grant experienced repeated sexual abuse from Mr. McMahon, who shared sexually explicit photos and videos of her with other staff members, the suit alleges. She alleges Mr. McMahon then began directing her to have sex with other coworkers, including John Laurinaitis, a former wrestler who performed under the name Johnny Ace. Mr. McMahon also allegedly used the promise of sex with Miss Grant as a bargaining chip in contract negotiations with Brock Lesnar. The guy basically took control of Miss Grant's life, choosing a doctor to serve as her personal physician while subjecting her to multiple degrading and physically abusive acts. In 2022, Mr. McMahon allegedly told Grant that his wife had found out about the affair and pressured her to sign a non-disclosure agreement and accept installment payments for her cooperation. This is not the first time that Mr. McMahon has been accused of sexual misconduct, nor the first time he has been accused of using his significant financial position to address allegations. Mr. McMahon has been dogged by allegations of misconduct and sexual assault, with incidents stemming back to at least 1986. Rita Chatterton, a female referee who worked for the WWE throughout the 1980s, she was also sexually assaulted by Mr. McMahon in his limousine in 1986. Ms. Chatterton would make the allegations on television in 1992, after the statute of limitations had run out. It was later revealed Mr. McMahon reached a multi-million-dollar settlement with Ms. Chatterton. And then there was another case. In 2006, Mr. McMahon was again accused of sexual assault by a staff member at a tanning salon. The evil dude showed her naked photos of himself before attempting to kiss and grope her. In 2022, hush money payments were uncovered by the Wall Street Journal, revealing millions of dollars had been paid to 4 women, including former wrestlers, contractors, and staff that say they had been coerced into sexual encounters with Mr. McMahon. So, this was not it. Mr. McMahon silenced staff with secret payments, and then he comfortably announced his immediate retirement. His daughter Stephanie McMahon took over the firm as interim CEO, but again, he was back. In January 2023, Mr. McMahon was unanimously voted back in as executive chairman of the board. One of Vince Sr.'s favorite wrestlers, Buddy Roger, says that McMahon was the modern-day Hitler of professional wrestling. And if you told him that to his face, he'd take you out and buy you the biggest steak you could eat. He thrives on the people around him hating his guts. He loves it. McMahon eventually succeeded in destroying the structures that had governed wrestling for decades. But there is one crucial aspect of the old system that he didn't get rid of: the abuses. Indeed, the abuses are what he loves the most. McMahon has made himself so singularly important for wrestling that few dare speak up against him. Even after a wave of credible accusations of sexual misconduct against McMahon this past summer forced him to step down as CEO and chairman, it was hard to find a single wrestler or industry hanger-on who would say they believed any of the victims. Even people from rival company All Elite Wrestling didn't make hay of those allegations, likely fearing that they might tick off McMahon and lose any future shot of working for him. There is no serious whistleblower contingent within wrestling. After all, he remained the single largest individual shareholder of the publicly traded WWE, and he controlled 80% of shareholder votes. He never stopped being the ultimate power in wrestling. McMahon has pushed the company toward a sale of some kind, or at least toward going private. Nobody, not even veteran wrestling reporters with trusted sources within WWE, seems to have a clear story on what's going to happen. Vince's mind is a black box these days. WWE is still staffed by McMahon's hand-picked people. If he were still in total control of the company, he could potentially sweep this under the rug by enforcing total message discipline. As the federal investigation deepens and as the lawsuits progress, there will likely be more allegations and revelations. McMahon still has astounding wealth on his side, but that's about it. He already embarrassed the Justice Department once, and unless McMahon's friend Donald Trump wins and quashes the probe, there could be very serious charges arrayed against an aging and isolated man. He has little protection. And perhaps not coincidentally, For the first time since he finished buying out his dad in 1983, he no longer owns a controlling interest in WWE. He has little of his magic left. He's not getting any younger, and he's now in the fight of his life. We'll see how far his respectability can go. On January 9th, 2006, when the live sex celebration took place, actually Edge had said he wanted to celebrate his recent win of the WWE Championship by sleeping with Lita in the middle of the ring. Both wrestlers stripped down to their underwear and got into a bed in the middle of the ring. Ric Flair interrupted before it went any further, because when you absolutely have to have someone to interrupt that kind of thing, Ric Flair is your man. Lita explained her thoughts and how McMahon forced her into doing this segment she was most certainly not comfortable with. She raised objections with multiple higher-ups, and even Edge and John Cena tried to talk McMahon out of it with no avail. Lita was specifically told that she would be fired if she did not do the bit. Doing the segment didn't end up doing anything for Dumas anyways, as she decided to leave the company shortly afterwards and was completely buried on her way out. She has appeared in recent years in a Legends role, such as appearing in the first Women's Royal Rumble and the first all-women's PPV Evolution. If you're thinking this is the exact kind of behavior that got a fair few tossed out on their ass from Hollywood during the Me Too movement, you're right. Being coerced into sex scenes is now a strict no-no. This kind of thing has made its way into the wrestling world as well, with the speaking out movement. Many independent wrestlers have seen their careers ended, or at least greatly hampered, by revelations of past criminal activity or gross behavior. But that's one thing, and a target the size of McMahon is quite another. It should happen, but things that should happen tend not to all the time. While the indie scene saw some upheaval after the speaking out movement, it hardly made much of a dent in the world of WWE. Both Velveteen Dream, aka Patik Clark, and Matt Riddle remain employed and on television, even though both have faced some horrific allegations about their past. The company did release lower-level performers like Jack Gallagher after allegations during the movement, but not anyone truly prominent. They don't get much more prominent than McMahon. Is this the kind of thing that might bring down McMahon? It's hard to fathom. This is a guy who thought it was okay to use the N-word himself on the air just a year before this incident with Lita, and that barely broke his stride. That wraps up the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay notified about our uploads. I'll see you next time. Till then, peace out.